Rockeyez would like to welcome Rachel Logan, radio personality. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. How about yourself?
Very good, very good. We met last year at Block Rock 4. I enjoyed myself. What'd you think of it?
I loved it. You know, I think, well, first of all, it was so nice to connect. We've been friends on Facebook for a while, and, you know, rock fans and involved in the music, so it was nice to finally connect, Brian.
Thank you.
But, you know, there's so many friends and friends that feel like family. I know that was said a lot at Melodic Rock Fest 4, and it just seems like they get better and better.
Right.
Hopefully this isn't the last one, fingers crossed, but it was wonderful. Plus it fell on my birthday. So.
Yeah, I remember you walking around with a crown on your head. You remember? There's a lot of pictures out there, you know?
Yeah, you know what? On my birthday, I wore a tiara. It said birthday girl. This way you don't have to tell anyone it's your birthday, and if somebody wants to wish you a happy birthday, great. If not, that's fine too. I had a blast.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, you're involved in radio and stuff. How'd you, decide to go into radio or, other ventures?
Well, radio was honestly something I've always wanted to do. Pretty much from the time I was about 12 years old, I used to play DJ in my room when I was supposed to be doing homework, I do voiceover as well, and I would sit in my room with a tape recorder and go into a magazine, read an ad, and record it. And I had my, DJ idols. I've always wanted to combine radio and voiceover, and it did take a while for me to get serious and focused about it, but I've been doing just that for years, and I feel very blessed. Yeah.
You also did a thing called Rockin' Back with different artists and stuff you interviewed. Can you tell me anything about that?
Sure. I can tell you anything you want to know, but I started that in about, I want to say 2010, did it to about 2011. Rockin' Back was a way for me to bring melodic rock and hair metal to all of the fans, very much like myself, who love that genre of music, and keep it alive. There's lots of shows that do that. Right. I just wanted to contribute, and it was kind of like my project in between radio gigs. I had a time where I wasn't on the radio, and that became a project. And I had a great time doing it. It was kind of an action-packed hour of requests, rock interviews. I do want to give a thank you, actually, and a shout-out to Class X Radio in Ohio, also for mamasfallenangels.com, because they supported the show and they carried it. So a big thank you to those good folks there.
Very cool. Can you tell me anything about some of the artists that you interviewed? And
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Just some of the ones that stick out in my mind. And some of them are more melodic rock, more hair metal oriented. Others are kind of classic rock artists that you'd hear on classic rock radio. And the show did sort of overlap. I was able to use some of those interviews for radio as well. One, Don Barnes of 38 Special, great guy. One thing I remember him saying specifically in that interview was he described their music as muscle and melody. And I thought, oh, that is cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And I can see where he gets that from. So that was really enjoyable. Joe Lynn Turner, it was great to interview him. That was some years back. Billy Greer of Kansas. At the time when I interviewed him, he also had a melodic rock band called Seventh Key. And they had a couple hits that you could hear on Sirius XM, You Cross the Line, The Raging Fire, more specifically. I remember asking him, Seventh Key is a pretty cool name for a rock band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, hey, where did you guys come up with that? And I remember his answer. It was so funny. He said, oh, I wish I had a great story behind that. I wish I could tell you it has this deep meaning, but it's just something the record company came up with, and we agreed with it.
Oh.
So it was actually really funny, because Seventh Key, wow, what's it the key to? Anyway, it was a very cool interview and a great guy. Ted Poley of Danger Danger, and of course he's doing, I got to hand it to him. What a marketer.
Oh, yeah.
He does every, I don't know, rock fest there is. It's either Ted Poley solo or it's Danger Danger. So I got to give him a lot of credit for that. It's not easy to get on the bill for every rock show, you know. We did a video interview at Melodic Rock Fest 2. You can actually find that on YouTube just by kind of looking it up. What a live wire. Just had a blast with him. Kelly Hansen, a foreigner, so well-spoken, just brilliant. One thing I remember that he said that I felt reached a lot of people and really hit home in a lot of our heads and hearts was that I asked him how he got the gig in Foreigner, right?
Mm-hmm.
What guy wouldn't dream of a gig like that? And he's still going strong, and they're touring all over the place. He said to me, well, I was kind of frustrated that there were so many gigs out there that friends of mine or people that I knew of were getting, and I thought, well, why not me? And then I realized that it's kind of my fault because I wasn't putting myself out there enough, and I wasn't getting my voice into the right hands and into the right ears. And he stepped it up. He sent his tape to the right people at Foreigner, and the rest is history. So I just felt that was very inspirational. Wow. To all of us, no matter what it is we do or dream of doing.
Right.
So I got to hand that to Kelly Hansen. Stacey Blades of LA Guns, that was just a real fun interview. I actually ran into him at Clyde's, which hosts the after party for M3 here in Maryland.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And a couple years ago, I was hanging out there, and all of a sudden, Stacey Blades points to me almost from across the room, and he goes, "You interviewed me." Wow. And we just kind of, and we just kind of met and said hi, and then later on at NAMM, we got a cool picture together. The last one I want to mention, and what is so close to my heart, was the opportunity to interview Jen Keenan of Vixen.
Wow.
And my heart is heavy saying that.
Yeah.
At the time, it was 2006, and we were promoting their album Live and Learn, and talking about how Jen got Vixen back together to do this album, and really pretty much everybody in the band on board, with the exception of a new lead singer replacing Janet.
Right.
What a wonderful, intelligent, articulate, humble woman.
Wow.
And it's just an absolute pleasure to talk to her. And I just have to say, hail to the Queen, and may she rest in peace. And my heart is heavy talking about her. But I felt so honored to get that interview, and that was back in 2006. Yeah.
Is there anybody that you really wanted to interview and you didn't get a chance to?
Oh, I'm sure that list is long. I'd love to interview Betty White. She has nothing to do with radio or music. My gosh, that would be a dream come true. Offhand, I'm sure there's some. I would probably say more female artists.
Uh-huh.
I would love the opportunity to interview more female artists. As I'm sure you know, I'm a huge, and I mean huge, supporter of fellow females on stage, singing, performing, rocking out. And, you know, let's face it, Brian, that may be 2015, but, you know, the playing field isn't exactly even. You know, look, we go to these rock shows, and 99 to 100% of the artists are male. You know, my hat's off to all the male musicians out there, but wouldn't it be nice to just see it just a little more even? Great to see StFemme Fatale play M3 last year. Really enjoyed them, and they really kicked ass on stage. I know Vixen's played the Monsters of Rock cruises. I have yet to go on any of those. Have you?
No, not at all.
You have not? Okay. I hear about them. A lot of friends love it. So I'm really happy that Vixen is out there kicking ass. But, yeah, so I'm just a huge supporter of my fellow females on stage.
Cool. What's your feelings towards like say Femme Fatale? Really, there's only. I'm just saying, for instance, they only have one original member. Does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me because, things change over time. I mean, how many of us can say that we're in exactly the same place that we were 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Lives take a different turn. We grow, we move on, we do other things. But the fact that they're together, the fact that they assembled a band that are on the same page and that are playing shows, I only have the utmost respect for that. I really do.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at other things like, if you had to, get behind a certain cause, what would it be?
Well, one cause that I've really gotten behind would be something that VH1 supported, which was keeping music alive in the schools,
right,
especially in elementary schools. I'm trying to remember the exact name of that cause. Do you?
No, I don't.
VH1, Save the Music. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
The Save the Music Foundation. Yeah, I've donated to them in the past, and I've promoted them on air a little bit when I could. I remember my music classes in elementary school, and that was a requirement.
Right.
You banged on a xylophone.
Wow.
You learned how to play instruments that you don't see every day. I remember playing the recorder.
Right.
And I just remembered loving my music classes.
Right.
And later on, as a child, I played classical piano and then moved on to contemporary. I don't really play instruments too much anymore, but my love for music hasn't gone anywhere.
Right.
And I think music education is as important as anything else in school. And plus, they've done studies that really show that the child thrives from learning music. They thrive in other areas of their lives.
Right.
So, yeah, that's something that means a lot to me.
Can you tell me anything about voiceover?
Sure. What would you like to know?
I don't know anything about it, so whatever you give me is insight for me.
Absolutely. Well, voiceover in a nutshell is voicing a project for any company or any person that needs a voice.
Right.
From a company voicemail to a commercial. Anytime you turn on the TV or turn on the radio and you're hearing a commercial, that person is doing a voiceover.
Right.
That person is voicing a project. A narration, a business narration, a characterization for a video game. I've done those as well. I've done just about everything in voiceover with the exception of maybe jingles.
Right.
I haven't really done jingles, which of course I hear is where the real money is. But,
yeah, that's what I hear too. I hear that too. Ask Ted Pauly, he probably could tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I've done just about everything in voiceover. Right now, as it stands, I'm the voice of 12 radio stations across the country.
Wow, that's
and
great.
it's like a promo voice. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if you hear a voice that is not their live DJ,
right,
but it's a recorded promo where they say, and then listen on Saturday for your chance to win.
Wow.
That might be me.
Cool,
yeah.
cool. So what do you have in the plans for 2015?
Oh, great question. Well, one thing that I've been procrastinating on, like anyone else, we have our stuff that we should do that's been in the back of our minds, and putting together a killer website is definitely one of them.
Right.
Traveling is definitely another. Last year, I felt very fortunate because I was able to attend Frontier's Rock Fest in Italy. Never been to Italy.
Wow.
And, oh, yeah, what an experience that was.
Yeah, I bet you.
Yeah, this year I'm not going, but, Frontiers is probably a one-time thing for me. But traveling is just a huge passion of mine, and I kind of want to make it over to Europe this year. It's been a few years, since I've really traveled some of the country.
Right, yeah.
So,
I'd love to go to Sweden Rock Festival myself.
Oh,
that would be,
I hope you do.
Yeah, that would be great, But,
and to see the country and to, meet some amazing people and see the bands, nothing like it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, did I miss anything you want to talk about that I didn't latch onto?
Oh, well, the only thing that I have coming up that I am so excited over, and this is just in a few days, I leave for California for the NAMM show.
Oh, that's good.
And, oh, yeah, I can't wait. Speaking of fellow ladies in rock, This year, I'm so excited because I'm attending the She Rocks Awards 2015, and this happens every year during NAMM. The Hilton Hotel is the place that hosts it, and it's going to be on Friday evening, and there's just going to be lots of folks who were nominated for these awards, folks that are the recipients, of course, and performances. So this year, I believe it's going to be Mindy Bear. She's a jazz artist, a sax player, and she'll be honored. Also, Colby Calais, the Bangles, and Hail to the Queen again, Orianthi. She is co-hosting, and hopefully she's going to be really shredding that guitar on stage.
Cool.
So, fingers crossed, I'll get pictures with all of them. But, yeah, fingers crossed. So,
cool.
I cannot wait to attend the She Rocks Awards for the first time this year.
Great.
So, of course, check out the equipment and hang with friends and all the good stuff about NAMM.
Sounds good. Great, Rachel.
Yeah.
Well, it was good talking to you, and I can't wait to see the pictures from NAMM when you get them done. So,
excellent.
Would you like to say anything to the people out there?
Just thanks so much for listening, and it's always great to connect with fellow rock fans. Feel free to connect with me on Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, you can just look up Rachel Logan. Also, Rachel Logan Radio is my page for all things radio. A little bit of voiceover thrown in there. And connect with me on Twitter at Rachel_radio.
Thanks very much, man.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Brian.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.